This is an overview of my insert for the Cthulhu Death May Die board game. It includes everything up through Season 4, except I do not own the Unspeakable Box. And I also do not own any of the comic promos or other promos that aren't a part of the core boxes. That said, everything should fit. There is potentially some space for Dagon in here, which is the only Elder one I do not own. There is ample space for more investigators in this box, enough for the current count to include all of them. That said, once the next set of content comes in, some of this will need to be rearranged. However, at least in my case, without the Unspeakable Box, I should be able to fit all of the investigators in this box, along with player and most of the board setup. And then in this box, currently, and mostly maxed out in this case, are the monsters and cultists that are not tied in some scenario or Elder One box. So, to give an overview, these have here are all the tiles in the game stacked, and I'm probably going to, in my case, put something to fill this space in so I can store anything vertically I want to store. And all of the scenarios here, you can see that this arrangement does not respect lift. We've got a lot of lift here and here. And I'll show in a second what that looks like with a box cover on it. But I really wanted to avoid digging down to any of these boxes to get any of the content. I wanted all of the investigators quick to access, such as here. And I didn't feel that another arrangement other than allowing for some lift would work. And also the lift here, you can see, allows for all the episodes to get stored in one box easily, plus some of the older ones. So I'm going to set these three boxes aside and focus on where the main insert comes in. So the investigator box, starting here, we've got our dice. Enough for 2 sets. I have a couple to fill in of the normal dice, and I own 2 sets of frosted dice. Here is the table tokens, all the health, fire, all of these that you need. And these are the tunnels and portals that are used for setup, but for the most part, what I would do is take these out and any scenario tokens I'd put in here to use off the table. And here at the bottom are a set of all the relics. They're with ample space to sleeve the relics, as well as the insanities or pathologies and there. The player markers are all here, and in this case I have enough extra room for the next set of colors that come in, and each one of these just pull out, and then at the top is a tray with all the bases. Here is a tray that has some setup. The Elder One marker, the randomization for the Elder One, but mostly what this is about is all of the new investigator-specific tokens. And I still need to put labels on each of these baggies to make it even quicker to find when using one of those investigators. As well as, say, the discovery card here at the bottom. And that slaughter tracker. That is everything in this box. The investigator dashboards, there's enough room in this for having enough for every investigator that can be in this box, which show up to 120, but subtract 10 because I add in the relic pets into this set. With less browsing room, I think it could go up to 150 in browsing room, meaning just a little bit of room to go back and forth and kind of browse through without taking them actually out. These are all alphabetized, as well as the investigators in here being alphabetized, so it just makes it easier to find. When you find a dashboard you want, find the figure you want as well. This is a dashboard I printed, and I'll link in the guide, but I feel like it's a bit better than the ones in the Unspeakable Box, if I put it on the right way. Just a nice overlay to keep the player markers where they should be, and a nice space underneath for the discovery cards to slide into. I haven't printed them all yet, but there is enough room for 5 of them in here. As I was saying before, the relic pets, and then the last investigators here. And then I just have a empty one at the bottom, or at the end of the box. Now, one thing to know is that for each of these 25 millimeter boxes, they are 2 parts, and I glued them, and I'll do a separate video to show how the process of gluing them. But they're very easy, and it's an immediate glue, like you can put the figures in shortly after. The other thing to know, I'm going to try to demonstrate this carefully, is that there's a little lip at the end of each of these rails. And I put that in so that if you accidentally hold it sideways, they don't just all fall out. They can fall out if you jerk it. It's not, or hold it fully upright, but facing down. But that is part of the design. And then the monster box. Again, this includes all the monsters that are not a part of a scenario or Elder One box. Some of these are the same size as the investigator boxes, these 3 here. And then this one has some various sizes of bases. But as you can see, most things did end up fitting with that 25 millimeter base in general. All the cultists are in here. And there is a little extra room in one of these for there. Here, some additional monsters that you could take out of if you had the Unspeakable Box. There's like the Cult Masters would be maybe a good one to put in here. But in that case, taking out of a scenario box. So over here, some of the larger base models. This is the largest base. This is 60 millimeters, and these are 40 millimeters. Besides the monsters in this one, the only thing that's not a monster are the unknown monster cards. So you could go through, after choosing your scenario, get the ones that apply for the scenario, and then use these, and then look at the labels at the top and find the right one. And then the last thing I want to show is how this looks when there's box lids on. So that is it. They still fit on. Besides the scenario box, there isn't as much lift in the other two boxes in the way I arranged it, or other three total boxes. That's everything.